Hello, everyone. I'm Judith Mwavala. Welcome to Flourish Podcast, a series of videos helping men and women working in higher levels of mental health stigma or lower work force protection in order to maintain growth and a successful economy. Flourish Podcast is delivered in two languages, English, of course, and Swahili, which is spoken in the East African community. Our guest today is Dr. Kazare Edwin Nyakioma, a consultant psychiatrist working in mental health for almost 25 years, and the founder of People Wellbeing Company, which is a sponsor for this podcast. He is also a member of the Association of Tanzanian Employees. Right? That's true?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Dr. Ken, welcome to the Flourish Podcast.
Thank you.
How are you? Are you feeling okay?
I'm good. It's been a journey.
Yeah.
So I feel okay.
All right. That's
Yes.
great. That's great. So let's talk about the Flourish podcasts.
Yes.
Can you tell us the inspiration behind it?
Inspiration, I guess, comes in two folds. In both my personal life and my professional life, I've learned over the years the power of the mind, the power of mental well-being, coming from Tanzania, being a Tanzanian myself, navigating health and health challenges as a child, and then moving on to a country like the United Kingdom, where I moved at the age of 15, leaving my parents behind. That was tough. Then professional life, working in the field of mental health for almost 25 years, as you rightly said. But in that period, I also have been an employer myself. So I've seen the challenges of mental well-being in life in general, but also I've seen the challenges of mental well-being in the workplace. And one thing that came across in all my life has been how workplace is the one single place that we spend the most time in, if you think about it.
And that's very true.
Yeah, we spend, roughly 8
8
hours or
or
more
more.
a day. Every working person does that. And if you can get workplace well-being right, everything follows. If your workplace well-being is correct, other things follow. But they do interact. I have to say, if your home life well-being is not right, it can affect your workplace as well. Although they're interchangeable, I thought maybe a podcast which probably tries to focus more on the employee and what the employee can do for themselves might be helpful. But as you know, nothing works one way. It takes two to tango. Yes. And the employer has to feature in all this. And so, yeah, well-being in the workplace has to help the employee, but also educate and work with the employer. So we're hoping through this series of videos, our first series is an introduction.
Yeah.
It has 4 episodes. This general one, which talks about what Flourish podcast format will be like. But the other 3 episodes are talking about um, 3 of the 5 single important things that have been shown to help well-being, which are connect, keep learning, take notice, give, and savor. Savor the moment. But exercise. I gotta say, savor the moment and take notice is one of the same. Sorry. So exercise is the 5th one. So you have to connect, you have to keep learning, you have to exercise, you have to give, and take notice. When you do those 5 things on a daily basis, a few things happen in your mental well-being. You don't only gain physical health and mental health, you gain 2 additional things.
All right. Before I get lost, I think you lost me somewhere. There's something I did not understand.
What should
Are you telling me that wellness and well-being are two different things?
Um, correct.
Correct?
Correct.
How?
How? Um, and this is a very big misconception that wellness and well-being can be used interchangeably. Wellness is what I guess companies and employers are doing right now, even in the country like Tanzania and other parts of the East African community. Wellness is the buzzword. Employers believe if you can keep the worker healthy, both physically and mentally, they will not be absent from work as much. They will stay in work more. Um, there is the focus on absenteeism. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much time does an employee spend being sick?
Mhm.
Um, so wellness covers reduced absenteeism.
Mhm.
What it doesn't cover is what I would like to call it as hidden absenteeism. So before I lose you even further,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, well-being, ta- wellness. So it's part of wellness.
Or
Yeah, it
Mhm.
includes wellness, but it adds two more things that you haven't asked before, which is happiness and satisfaction. Are you happy in the workplace? Are you satisfied in the workplace?
Yeah.
Those two things, when you add them onto wellness, you get well-being. It becomes a status symbol. How much well-being do your staff have? They may do wellness, but they may not have well-being.
Well-being. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Ken, talking about being happy and being satisfied, yeah?
Yes, those are the two additional things. Yes.
So, how will the Flourish podcast make people happy and satisfied? What role is it going to play?
What role is it? Right. So part of this series of introduction is to introduce what Flourish exactly will be doing for people. The idea is when people subscribe, follow, and like our podcast, we gain additional powers. We gain additional powers of knowing what do our listeners want to hear. Yeah. What do our listeners like and dislike about their workplace? What makes them happy? What makes them satisfied? And it's through the knowledge of the local community that we serve that our podcast can respond. Yeah. So we can respond in many ways. One of the things that I like to project and put out there is that this is not our podcast. This is the listeners' podcast. The challenges listeners have in the workplace. You've talked about mental health stigma. Uh, we do know from research that mental health stigma, when it's greater, I'd rather say I have a headache than I am stressed.
Yeah.
Headache is okay. I can go to a doctor, I can be signed off with headache. Migraine, malaria, anything I want to be signed off. But why? If I'm stressed, I can't talk about stress.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Now, by doing this series of podcasts, we can highlight some of the challenges of only covering absenteeism when you're in the workplace. Because absenteeism could happen when the person is sitting at the desk, is in that factory. Do you know why? Because the hidden absenteeism happens because you're not focused. You're not concentrating. When you're not focused, you're not concentrating. You're not in the job. You're not delivering as quickly or as fast in that chain production. You're not producing for our manufacturing industry. You're not helping those factories produce enough water bottles. The water bottles become expensive because our plant cannot produce them fast enough. But actually, you've got enough stuff. They just need to apply themselves. And you can only apply if you're in the job, you're happy and you're satisfied.
Satisfied.
So productivity goes down even if you're in work. And that's because well-being is not good. So if we pay attention more about how happy is my staff, how satisfied is my staff, are they aligned with what our objectives as the board of directors have? We may have our own objectives, but without the people, we're nothing.
You're nothing.
We're nothing.
Completely nothing.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Ken. So happiness, I've gathered that happiness and satisfaction are
Yes.
the true drivers of performance and long-term success. But why are so many workplaces still measuring output more than well-being?
Um, because in their defense, the people who measure output more than well-being find it easier to measure output more than well-being. So at People Wellbeing Company, we have realized actually it's not what you see as the end product or the end outcome. It's what was put in. Garbage in, garbage out, stupid. You know, if you focus on the output and you're not thinking what was the input, you'll get rubbish. So output is easy to measure, but well-being regulates, well-being adjusts that productivity of that employee. That employee could have a bigger output if you stopped to think, how is their well-being? Are they happy really in this job? Are they satisfied in this job? Guess what? The person who's more happy and satisfied produces more. Absolutely. And the people who've caught up to this are the people who come to Tanzania and teach us and pay us and buy all our land these days, buy all our factories.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any particular country, but they are more powerful than anything. Why? Because they realize happiness and satisfaction is probably bigger than gross domestic product,
Yes.
GDP.
GDP.
You can send somebody to a hardship of Tanzania from their comfortable environments, relative comfort, of course, because they're happy and satisfied to be working in Tanzania. How do you make people who are unnatural? The land doesn't come natural, the heat doesn't come natural, the temperatures don't come natural, the mines that they go in and dig for gold and diamond don't come natural. How do you make them happy and satisfied? How can they produce for you? So it's a big question.
I'd say it is a big question.
It is a big question. And if we get that right through Flourish podcast, we can get our own Tanzanians become superhumans, meta-humans, people who produce more with less time, people who produce more and don't quack as easily. So they become more resilient. If we get more resilient workforce, we can push, produce, work. There's some people in factories out there, Far East, and all these other funny places. They are pushed to produce more because they're resilient. They're given things which make them happy.
And satisfied. Absolutely. So thank you, Dr. Ken, for this. Do you have anything more you want to add?
I think
to our viewers?
yes. I think the important thing about Flourish podcast is it's not here to teach. It's here to share, experiences. So it may be experiences of experts from their area of work. It may be to share experiences from employers to get employers' perspective. But it may also be to share the experience of a union of employees to get the perspective of a certain industry. So the podcast is for everyone. It will keep moving, changing. We start with these 4 episodes, largely to give people a taster of what's to come in the new series, in the more and more series that will keep moving with time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ken.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our viewers as well. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on social media. There's more good things to come. You'll be educated on the mental health, especially in workplaces, wellness, and well-being. You will learn it all from here. Until next time, I go by Judith Movala. Bye-bye.